how to solve different types of equations. So we're going to solve equations that are reducible to quadratic. Okay, so you see these three equations in front of you. This is not quadratic because it has power 4. This exponential is not quadratic. This is very complicated, but all of these can be solved by using quadratic equation method. So we do it so by substituting let u equal to x squared. Yep, like that. And then you can see the x to the power 4 can be written as you square the x squared minus 3x squared minus 10 equal to 0. So every time you see an x squared, you replace it by u. So this is your u. This is your u. Right? And then you just write the rest. U squared minus 3u minus 10. So it becomes a quadratic equation. We call this equation reducible to quadratic equation. Okay? And now we're going to solve for u by factorizing or using the quadratic formula, whatever method you want to use. So you can factorize it. So let's factorize. So we factorize this, and then we end up getting u minus, what would it be? Minus 5u plus 2. Yes? And then we can find u equal to 5 or negative 2. Okay, get the idea? Now that's not finished yet because we're finding x. So how do we find x? We use the original one, u equal to x squared. So change the u to x squared equal to 5 or x squared equal to negative 2. So what's x equal to? You must include plus or minus. Well done. Okay, plus or minus root 5. How about the second one? You can't square root. So you say, now in fact don't have to do anything, just at the bottom, write down no solution. No solution. So there's only 2. Alright, any question? Alright, pretty easy. We'll do the same thing for the next one, okay? So we're going to let u equal to something. But the next one's a little bit tricky to see. So what I'm going to do is, you have to do something first. So see the 9? You can write it as 3 times 3, right? Bracket to power of x minus 2 bracket 3 to power x minus 3 equal to 0. Now that's your one. I've changed the equation in the old version, so I've changed it slightly. So if you could update it, that'd be good. Thank you very much. Okay, now I'm going to use index law. The index law will say 3 to the power of x. You distribute the powers, right? 3 to the power x multiplied by 3 to the power x, right? And then you're going to let u equals to 3 to the power x. Like that, right? So you end up getting u times u minus 2u minus 3 is 0. Yep. Yeah, so 3 times 3, and you distribute the power, 3 to the power x, 3 to the power x. Not the same thing. You mean this means this thing? Yeah, that's what I did, right? Oh, no. Of course, yes. But if it's plus, you have to go alpha squared. There's 2 terms. There's 3 terms. But that's times. Yes, you're right. So it's different. Yeah. You don't do the binomial expansion. Okay. All right. Good question. Let me rub this off. Okay. So can you see again quadratic? The double u becomes u squared. So we'll go back to my pen. So you get u squared minus 2u, and then and then factorize. Yep. So what would it be? Bracket something And then Lisa, what do you get if you factorize? U. Perfect. Okay, good. So u equal to 3 or negative 1. Okay, now every time you find u, you must substitute x back. So what's x equal to? U equal to 3 to the power x equal to 3, or 3 to the power x equal to negative 1. Alright, so what's the first one equal to? 3 to the power x equal to 3 means x must equal to 1. You can tell by inspection. How about the second one? The second one's a bit tricky, and the answer to that is actually no solution. And why is there no solution? Because exponential is always positive. Always bigger than 0. Now, why is it the case? If you draw the graph of exponential from the function topic, right, it goes up like this, right? That's y equal to 3 to the power of x. And you notice that you will never intersect negative 1. So that's negative 1. Right? There's no answer to this. It can never be negative 1. So therefore, no solution. So this only. Any question? Okay, so we've seen these two types, and then we're going to look at the third type. The third type is, what would you substitute? There's a lot of x. So what you do is, you just look at what's common. See, these two look alike. It will be good to get rid of them and call it one thing. Let's call it u. So right, let u equal to x squared minus 5x. So you end up getting u equal to 2. Okay, see, it simplifies the equation a lot. And then if you do that, you can multiply both sides by u, and you get quadratic. Okay, multiply both sides by u, and then of course you're going to expand, and then you end up getting u squared plus 2u plus 24, because the u and the over u gets cancelled, and then you end up getting u squared minus 2u minus 24. Okay, and solve it and do the rest. Okay, have a try. I think we've got everyone just to the way. I'll mark the roll later. Have a try. Can try the rest. I won't tell you much further yet, so have a try. Let me just put. Alright, excellent. Okay, let's factorize this. Let's do this. Okay, so what do we have here? We get u minus 6 plus 4 equal to 0. So u equal to 6 and negative 4. Now this time the equations are a little bit more complicated. What you need to do, there are two equations you have to solve. So which two? So you have to solve x squared minus 5x, x squared minus 5x. One is equal to 6, the other one is equal to negative 4. So you have to solve two quadratic equations. So to solve this, we'll just go like this. X squared minus 5x minus 6 is 0. X squared minus 5x plus 4 equal to 0, and solve both of them. So you have 4 solutions. Okay? So what do you have? So we got x equal to 0, and then x equal to 0. Alright, what do we have? We just keep going. Yeah, okay, good. And then we'll just solve. What do we have? Minus 6 and 1. Good. And how about the other one? Oh, cool. So we get x is 6, negative 1, 4, 1. 4 solutions. Any questions? So it's all pretty straightforward. You just need to know what to substitute. I think the half, yep. Yeah, 3 or 4 solutions. Nothing to eliminate. Whereas here, there's some stuff that you have to eliminate. You can't, exponential can't be negative. You can't square root a negative number. Okay? I will do some summary today. There's 3 pages of summaries that we're going to do. Summary. Okay, we're going to look at summary. Alright. Let's do summary. Alright, let's do this on page 26. to sketch a graph of this form. Okay. Actually, I'll just pass this down to Nat. Be nice to him. This summary. Okay, to sketch this graph, what you need to do, you will need to find the y-intercept. Now, how do you find the y-intercept? We have to substitute. What do we substitute, Lisa? Y-intercept. Excellent question. Now, let's continue. All right, y-intercept by substituting x equal to 0. Okay. Now, how do you find x-intercept? By substituting y equal to 0. And then we're going to factorize where possible and use the non-factor law or use the quadratic formula. And how do we get the axis of symmetry? We have to use the formula. Also, the x-corner of the turning point lies halfway between the two x-intercepts. Another formula to find the equation of axis symmetry is x equal to minus b on 2a. Okay. And then once you get the axis symmetry, we substitute this x value to find the y value of the turning point. So follow this procedure to do this example. Have a try. See if you can work out. Work out the y-intercept, work out the x-intercept, axis symmetry, and draw. Have a try. Okay, let's do this. Okay. All right, so example, what do I do first? So find the y-intercept. Okay, so how do you find y-intercept? Substitute x0, and you get y equal to 0 minus 8, negative 8. Y-intercept found. X-intercept is when you put y equal to 0. And by the way, you've sketched this before, so you should be able to do this in the example. So you get 0 equal to x squared minus 2x minus 8. Make sure you factorize, and you get, what do you get? X minus 4x plus 2 equal to 0. So x is 4 and negative 2. Okay? And then you get the axis of symmetry. And there's two ways to do it. You either do method 1. You can do halfway. You can just go 4 plus negative 2 divided by 2. And that equals to 1. Or method 2 is to use the formula. You get x equal to minus b on 2a, which is equal to minus 2 on 2 times 1, also equal to 1. Okay? And once you get the axis symmetry, you have to sub it in to find the vertex. And to find the vertex, you go x equal to 1, y equal to 1 minus 2 minus 8, you will get negative 9. So the vertex 1, negative 9. Okay? And of course, we're going to draw it. So we've got x and y axis drawn. Not very straight. Okay, so you've got 4, and then negative 2, and maybe a bit longer, negative 8. And you've got the vertex, 1, negative 9. You join all points, so you get a parabola. There you go. Okay, drawn. So make sure you show the x-intercept for the y-intercept, the vertex, and the x and y-axis label. Okay, so this is just a rough sketch. Alright, so now you know how to sketch this, and we should also recognize there's other types of parabola in different form. This is a very important one that will save you a lot of time. This one here. Now what does this tell you? That tells you the vertex straight away, because the K tells you the vertical horizontal shift, and the H tells you the vertical shift. Vertical. Okay? And what does the A tell you? The concavity. Okay, then we can sketch it. So for this one, you go left 1, left, 1, down 4. Yep. And then we're going to draw it straight away. So you can draw this very conveniently. You can get the picture straight away. So we're going to go left 1, down 4. So you get the vertex straight away. And then what you do is you have to find the x and y intercept last rather than x and y intercept first. So we're going to go, so it clearly looks like this. Oh. And then like that. Okay, so clearly it crosses the x-axis and the y-axis. So you just follow the same procedure, find the y-intercept, that's where x is 0, and you end up getting y equal to 1 squared minus 4, negative 3. Get negative 3 there. Okay, x-intercept will be a little bit more tricky. So how do you find x-intercept? You have to predict y equal to 0. And in this case, there's no need to factorize because it's a perfect square form. Watch this. So x plus 1 squared. Do not expand. Move the 4 over. And then go x plus 1 squared and square root. So therefore, x equal to, we'll skip some step, 1 plus or minus 2. So it could be 3 or negative 1. So, ooh. Did I make a mistake? Oh, so negative 1. Sorry, negative 1 plus or minus 2. So negative 3 plus 1. Sorry, yeah. Negative 3 plus 1. Done. Okay, good. Pretty easy. So now we know how to sketch these two types of parabola. And make sure you remember them. There's one that you do the shifting. The other one you don't do the shifting. You do the x and y intercept and axis symmetry. Okay, remember these two main type. And then we've got quadratic inequality. Hopefully remember how to solve this. Alright, let's try to solve it. Quadratic inequality. So what the first step is, we're going to go x squared, make the right side 0. And then we're going to do let y equal to x squared minus 5x. And we sketch. How do we sketch? We'll put, find the x and y, just the x-intercept we'll do. So x-intercept, so you put 0 equal to x squared minus 5x, and you have to factorize the x out. So x equal to 0 or 5, and it's concave up, right? So what you do is you draw the x and y-axis again, and then you're going to go 0 and 5, it's concave up. And you look at the part where y is negative, which is below the x-axis over here, right? So therefore, this part corresponds to x between 0 and 5. That's done. Okay, quadratic inequalities. All right, this is graph and its application to inequality, and then we're going to do more, because in this topic we learn a lot of things like discriminant. We're going to review this, and sum and product roots, and many things. These will all be in your upcoming exam. Make sure you review this video again, because it will be useful when revised for the exam. Okay? All right, good. Hopefully you're ready. Okay, we're going to move on. All right, good. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Discriminant. What is discriminant? Discriminant has this formula which I forgot to write down. Discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. And if it's positive, it has 2 real roots. 0 is 1 root. Negative is no real root. Okay? Real roots means 2 unequal root. When they say 2 unequal root, means discriminant is positive, or 2 distinct root. Another word for 1 root is 2 equal root. So sometimes they say 2 equal roots, it means 1 root. All right, what else are there? Number of times a line, it has applications to number of times a line crosses the parabola. So if you have a line crosses twice, or it's a tangent, oops, that's not a tangent at one point, or does not cross. So in this case, if it has 2 points of intersection, we say that the discriminant is positive. This will be discriminant 0. This will be discriminant negative. Okay? Alright. So, yep. Secant, tangent, nothing. Alright. Yeah, let's write it down. So, this is the tangents. So, the question says a tangent means one solution. This is a secant. And the last one, no names. Alright, definite, indefinite, quadratic. So, how many graphs do I have? Just these. Okay. So, we're going to have this. Watch this. So, if you have this, something like this, that's positive definite. And if you have this, that's negative definite. Alright. Next, now, there are some conditions for positive definite and negative definite. Positive definite, it means it has to be concave up, but discriminant will be negative because you have no points of intersection with the x-axis. If this negative definite A is negative, but discriminant is still negative. So whenever discriminant is negative, it's one of the definite. On the other hand, if you got discriminant positive, it doesn't matter it's concave up or concave down, because you have 2 points of intersection, we say it's indefinite. Okay, so once this discriminant is positive, it's indefinite. Or if it touches the x-axis at one point, like this, we say discriminant equal to 0, is still an indefinite. Yeah. If it's indefinite, you don't have to work out A. Yeah, because discriminant is positive. It doesn't matter A. But if discriminant negative, then you have to work out what A is to determine whether it's positive or negative. Okay, next page. Okay, we just did that recently, finding unknown coefficients. So to find these things, actually no, sorry. Okay, now what do I have to do? I forgot what I have to do for this. Sum and product roots, equation reducible quadratic. Oh, and that's it. Oh, okay. So just this is the last page, right? Okay. All right. So let's look at this bit. So a question could say discriminant is, you will say this equation has got 2 roots. So if you say 2 roots, then you say discriminant is positive. In that case, you go discriminant equal to minus m plus 2 square minus 4ac bigger than 0, and then solve for m. They might do this to you, or they could say something like this. No, I'm just saying, I'm just making up the question. So when you get a question like this, they will say something about how many roots. Or they may say something to say, one root is reciprocal of the other one, of another. In that case, you have to go alpha and 1 over alpha and do the product of root. So you go alpha times 1 over alpha is m. And you found m straight away. Okay, so you can get these 2 types of questions. So 2 types of questions. Sometimes the question will ask you about, tell you about how many roots there are. Sometimes the question will say the nature of the root. One root is reciprocal of the other root. Okay, all right. Okay, once you do this, we're going to move on. There's not much I could say. Okay, then we have the quadratic identities. So all you have to do is just match coefficient. A is 6, B is negative plus 2, and C is negative 3. Like that. Alright, write this in the form of this. So what you do is, you're going to expand this. Ax squared plus Ax plus Bx squared plus Cx plus C. You have to group the x squared term together. It's the same example we did before, so you can review the previous video and then group these two together. A plus C is x, and then plus C, right? And then you just have to match 1 with this, so A plus B equal to 1, and then 2 equal to A plus C, and then C equal to negative 2, alright? And then you just have to solve simultaneously. So there's a number of different topics in here, uses various techniques that you need to do. Maybe we can finish it off. So you just have to substitute C into the equation 2, so call that 1, call that 2, call that 3. So from 2, you get A plus negative 2 is 2, A equals to negative 4, positive 4. And once you get A, you can get B. B will be A plus B is 1, 4 plus B is 1, so B is negative 3. So you found all. So that is right. Therefore, this equation can now be written in the form A is 4, so 4x, x plus 1. B is negative 3, x squared. C is negative 2. So that's what you do. Okay? Alright, finally we got sum and product roots that we learned recently. So let's write them all down. So alpha plus beta is minus b on a. That's on the reference sheet. That's c over a. The rest are not on the reference sheet, so you need to remember how to do them. Minus b over a is minus 3 over 2. C over a is 4 over 2, which is 2. And when you do the sum of the reciprocal, make sure you do make it the same denominator. Alpha, alpha. Beta plus alpha equal to alpha plus beta over alpha beta, and then beta plus alpha is the sum over 2. That will give you negative 3 on 4. And we also need to remember this special formula that we just covered in the quiz today. Please memorize it. Let me get a highlighter. Highlight. Okay, memorize this. That's not only these two. These two are on the reference. On reference. That's all. Nothing else. Okay. Okay, so you have to memorize this. Memorize. And so what do? You get negative 3 over 2 square minus 2 times 2. 9 over 4, which is, what's 9 over 4? 2.25 minus 2 hard, so 9 over 4 is minus 4. What do you get? Minus 7 on 4. Okay, alright, good. And we did this today. What do we do? You can write it like this. 4 is 2 square, right? I'm just showing you a different way to do this. And then you can swap these two, right? These two can swap. So you can write that as 2 to the power x bracket square. Right? And then you're going to write let u equal to 2 to the power x. So we get u squared minus 2u minus a. Right? Does that make sense? So 2 to the power 2. Yeah. I swapped them. See, the x and 2 are swappable. Yeah. And you get u minus 4, u plus 2. Therefore, u equal to 4 and negative 2. And then you sub it back in. U is 2 to the power x. 2 to the power x is negative 2. Remember that negative have no solution. Whereas this one, you get x is 2. That's a big topic, big shoe to fill in, but you need to revise everything. The exam will come, which has a lot of different questions. Make sure you do the chapter review and the test yourself and the challenge question at the end of the chapter. You can start the work now.